Monthly partner in brief of ongoing progress work on the shutdown of Lagos infrastructure.
Bring all the traffic into this direction.
We are going to work to ensure that the road will.
Good day and welcome to another interesting episode of the program Infrastructure Weekly, where we x-ray the activities of the federal government in the area of infrastructure development. I am your guide, Abosede Omowi. On this week's episode of the program, as always, we will be taking you around project sites across the country, from the road sector to power and the National Housing Program. Join us after this break on this journey to showcase the achievements of the Buhari administration in bridging the nation's infrastructure gap. Don't go away.
Coming together of opportunities, and this is what
infrastructure is the backbone of development, which explains the Buhari government's effort at bridging the facility gap. Infrastructure Weekly is a television package designed to bring you latest information on hundreds of development projects going on in various sectors all over the nation.
There is no state in Nigeria today where you will not see our contractors busy at work.
Power generation, rural electrification, road rehabilitations, national housing scheme, construction of roads and rail lines across the country, you name it.
We are now able to produce 7,000 megawatt of power. That is no longer debatable.
Infrastructure Weekly is Nigerians working together for a better Nigeria. So be better informed to take better informed decisions. Watch Infrastructure Weekly, showing on Channels Television Thursdays 2:30 p.m., NTA Network Wednesdays 5 p.m., and Core TV News Fridays at 8 p.m. Infrastructure Weekly, making development known.
We take off this week from the housing sector and specifically in Taraba State with an update of the National Housing Project site in Jalingo, the state capital. Join us on the journey.
The National Housing Program is an ongoing project that cuts across the 36 states of the Federation to provide affordable housing for all. In Taraba, the 76 housing unit is at 90% completion, while the road infrastructure of the estate is at 60% completion.
We have different house types. We have a one-bedroom semi-detached bungalow, we have two-bedroom semi-detached bungalow, and three-bedroom semi-detached bungalow. One-bedroom semi-detached bungalow, we have 2 blocks of 4 units. Two-bedroom semi-detached bungalow, we have 24 blocks of 48 units. 3-bedroom semi-detached bungalow, we have 12 blocks of 24 units. Yes, based on the concept of the National Housing Program, we the supervisors ensure that the standards are maintained. And what we have done here is to the best standard so far.
The unit has its own 2 separate transformers, and most of the building materials used for the National Housing Project are locally sourced.
I can say most of the materials, all of the materials are locally sourced. The essence of this is because federal government want to encourage local content, want to encourage local manufacturers. So most of the building materials found here are locally sourced within the country. I must be sincere that the project has been of great significance to the locals around here. When we started, the people came around, they were so happy with the government policy. In fact, they were praying God should give our President Muhammad Buhari more energy to continue with this concept. Some of them were even shocked that we can have this in this country. Because that they only remember in those days of Shagari quarters, but that these have beat Shagari quarters. That this has been a very good concept to them. They even said they were able to generate resources to pay their children's school fees. Some of the food vendors say they have moved from a smaller house unit to a bigger house unit. Some say they have increased and diversified their business, all as due to the gains of this national housing here.
The National Housing Scheme has benefited most youth of the community as artisans are gainfully employed.
I've been messing, and sometimes I will help my neighbor mix concrete. We thank God as they bring us this contract here. We benefit, we neighbor here, we thank God. Me, I pay my children fees and I eat well. Always, whatever, see how I fresh now. We thank our President, General Buhari. We thank him, his own tenure. We youth, we benefit. We thank federal government has seen the work with us. We thank this tenure. Let God be promoting him more.
Since I have started this work, yes, I benefit so much because I'm having two of my brothers that they are not going to school. Yes, it's from here that I benefit, and I will be paying them school fees for a long time now. Even me too, I even benefit and paid my YA fees here. So I really thank you so much. I really thank them that they bring this project for us in this Caribbean. And then we are praying that the federal government creates more projects for us in this state.
You can see we appreciate God because this is one of the these are the kind of project or kind of work people like, because it helps the community to develop, the people in the community to be benefit in terms of money. You can see even we, the suppliers, we have something to supply and then maintain ourselves. I think this is a good project. I think if this will continue, I think even the youth cannot just stand and sit down and fold their hands. I think because if you can check around, you can see the youth are very happy now. At least one way or the other, they benefit. In terms of money part is there, the contractor pays, everybody is paying, and everybody is happy.
The federal government has contacted 23 contractors for the building project.
That's the story of the National Housing Program in Taraba State. The program is not only designed to bridge the nation's housing deficit, which according to a recent study currently stands at 22 million, but also as an employment generation platform for young Nigerians of all persuasion in the building industry. For comments, inquiries and feedback, you can get in touch with us on the social media handles showing on your screen. So much for the housing sector. Join us after the break for more on the program. Stay tuned.
London, New York or Lagos, business or holiday, home or office, you can now carry out your tax transactions from anywhere in the world. You can now file all your tax returns, pay online, get a receipt and even process your tax clearance certificate from anywhere in the world online and in real time. All you need to do is log on to www.firs.gov.ng and click on e-services and be introduced to the world of innovation, convenience and transparency from the FIRS. You can also pay stamp duty as you register a new company with the CAC, or for other transactions that require stamp duty payment online. You can also file your withholding tax returns and determine the withholding tax deducted from you is in government covers so that you can get your receipt within 45 days as long as the deduction has been remitted. Yes, all of this and more online at www.firs.gov.ng/e-services. FIRS, making tax administration as easy as ABC. Please note that all FIRS services are free of charge. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. It pays to pay your tax.
If you were just joining us, the program is Infrastructure Weekly, where we take you deeper into the activities of the Buhari administration in the power, works and housing sectors, as well as rails and other infrastructure projects. The federal government says it will not only provide power to Nigerians, but use the sector as a means of employment generation to drive the nation's economy. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo disclosed this while speaking at a two-day energy summit in Abuja that aims to promote sustainable energy and what is described as the Energy Charter. He spoke through the Minister of Science and Technology, Ogbonnaya Onu.
The importance of energy sector as an instrument for national development, as well as international cooperation and diplomacy, cannot be overemphasized. To this end, the Energy Commission of Nigeria, in partnership with the European Union and International Energy Charter, held a two-day summit to discuss national issues on energy and all its ramifications. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who spoke through the Minister of Science and Technology, Ogbonnaya Onu, believes one of the effectiveness of energy sector is the level and extent of investments made with the private sector. He added that the investment has helped to develop its infrastructure for adequate cost and environmentally acceptable energy cost.
To further support private investment, we have increased transparency and openness in governance, instituted several executive orders to remove bottlenecks in business registration and permits. We are convinced that this will help us create more jobs, create additional wealth, and reduce poverty in our dear country.
This year's forum, titled National Energy and Climate Change Summit, according to Vice President Oshibajo, is hopeful that it has the objective of assessing the investment environment in the energy sector for sustainable energy development.
It is my hope that stakeholders will study the report very carefully and come up with recommendations that will enhance the investment climate in our energy sector. I am confident that this will guarantee adequate, reliable, cost-effective, and environmentally acceptable energy supply for a diversified economy as articulated in the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan.
For the Secretary General of the International Energy Charter, he says the level of transparency and public engagement must be increased to increase energy investment around the world.
The level of transparency and public engagement need to be increased. We have seen all around the world issues about the acceptance of the energy investment. Without proper consultation with public and without accountability of the government, the big energy projects will hardly survive. And the third, most important finding is that the streamline and clarification of judiciary procedures will give an investment community a security and feeling of responsibility of the host state, host nation, towards the investment.
The Energy Commission of Nigeria says it will continue to build capacity to enhance collaborations and outreach for the purpose of ensuring that sustainable energy development is promoted in Nigeria. From the Presidential Villa, Abuja, Ayobami Pashe, reporting for Core TV News.
Staying with power sector, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has called on all Lagosians to do more to respect the right-of-way of its equipment to avoid disasters. The company's Regional General Manager, Transmission for the Lagos Zone, which covers Lagos and Ogun State, Jeffrey Nwokoye, said the issue of encroachment in the right-of-way of its equipment is particularly vital due to the nature of the Lagos environment with highly corrosive water.
Atlantic is a place that should be attractive to any investor. You know, if you happen there, it's quite massive, and I know it will be needing very stable and quality kind of power supply. Actually, they have approached us and we are thinking, we are discussing with them, on the possibility of they came for 33 kV line from Alabo or from Lekki, but we are exploring a situation where we take 132 kV substation. I mean, console 132 kV line from either Lekki or from Alabo. The study is going on now, and I believe it will be realized. So we are on plan with them to get at least 33 kV line to that place, and on a long term 122 kV line and substation at Eko Atlantic. Yeah. I can tell you to a large extent the system is stable now. But I can tell you one challenge that we have. You know, electricity network is not isolated from each other. Right from the generating station, it is the same connection, maybe with different capacities of infrastructures. From generation through transmission to distribution to people's house, there are connections all along the line. This electricity is not coming from the moon. gas is purchased to generate it in gas fire turbines, and other expenses are made on the hydro. So there should be, if this electricity supply, everybody has to behave well, right from the consumers, through the service provider, through the distribution, through the transmission, through generation, through those who are supplying gas. If everybody does what it's supposed to do, I can assure you, we have the capacity, we have the capability of supply 24 hours power to these people of this country. But if power is supplied to me, for instance, and I don't pay, how do I want the distribution to get money to maintain those equipments there? And if the distribution doesn't collect that money, at the end of the day, there are the people that collect, the interface with the final consumers. They collect this money and settle all the invoices. Right now, the invoice of transmission that is settled is not more than 45%. And how do you maintain all these equipments without money? So it puts us on a very big stress.
Thanks for staying tuned. For comments, inquiries and feedback, you can get in touch with us on facebook.com/Infrastructure Weekly and on Twitter @infra_weekly. Join us after this break for a look at the road sector. Stay with us.
Coming together of opportunities. This is what
Infrastructure is the backbone of development, which explains the Buhari government's effort at bridging the facility gap. Infrastructure Weekly is a television package designed to bring you latest information on hundreds of development projects going on in various sectors all over the nation.
There is no state in Nigeria today where you will not see our contractors busy at work.
Power generation, rural electrification, road rehabilitations, national housing scheme, construction of roads and rail lines across the country, you name it.
We are now able to produce 7,000 megawatt of power. That is no longer debatable.
Infrastructure Weekly is Nigerians working together for a better Nigeria. So be better informed to take better informed decisions. Watch Infrastructure Weekly, showing on Channels Television Thursdays 2:30 p.m., NTA Network Wednesdays 5 p.m., and QTV News Fridays at 8 p.m. Infrastructure Weekly, making development known.
The Apapa Wharf Road to many is nothing short of a nightmare to commute on. Many people who have businesses in the axis have even moved out, while those in the business world, depending on who is talking, have described the road as one that has impeded the development of the nation's economy. But with the decision by the federal government and stakeholders who use the road, it is now nearing completion, and commuters and road users say it is a worthwhile development that has enhanced their businesses.
Earlier in the year, commuters within the nation's premier port complex in Apapa raised a major alarm on what they describe as a deplorable condition of the Apapa Wharf Road network, which had made it difficult for businesses to thrive, and users of the port are also suffering. The federal government, having been in the process of addressing the issue, swung into action with the award of the contract to AG Dangote Construction Company with a tripartite funding arrangement between the Nigerian Ports Authority and Dangote Group and the Flour Mills of Nigeria. A few months down the line, the situation has changed, with the road project now close to completion. For users on the road and business owners within the complex, it's a good thing that the government took action when it did.
I've been here for 6 years. This road that we are talking about now has been in a very bad shape for a very long time. But when Dangote and some other company, I think Flour Mill was among, took over the construction of it, at least though for some time we've been suffering it, like this particular place now have been very difficult to pass. Sometimes we pass through Liverpool to access wharf. But presently what we can see now is motorable. Actually it's a relief. It's a relief for us that work in Apapa here, because to access the wharf is now very easy. Very, very easy to access the wharf. And secondly, if let me put it this way, if they can speed up the action, I think it will be better, because from this side now is okay, but going after this side now, I think we are still having some hiccup down there. So if they can speed up the action, I think it will be better. Such partnership, I think, is what's going into, in the sense that since it will give relief to the masses, let them be given the tax rebate. Let them be, at least, let their tax, let it be taken from there. Let them do the road. And if I should assess the road from my own observation, I think the quality of the road is okay. It's commendable because I've been able to see the thickness of the road, considering the load that the road is carrying, the trailers, the containers and all that. I think the quality of the road is okay.
They added that the situation has improved both in terms of their businesses and time spent commuting between their residences and work.
It makes the business easier. It makes the clients get their goods easier. Once there are requests, once there are orders, we can easily come in here and pick up our goods and leave. So this is a very good one for us and for the government, and it also gives us the interest of continuing making sure that we pay our taxes, because when you are paying your taxes and you are performing your civic roles and you are not really enjoying it based on one reason or the other, like the issue of easy navigation to your business place, then it's not really a good one. The major thing again is that for proper maintenance of this road, then there should be consideration in working on the waterways. The gutters beside, there should be clearance, because if the waters keep lodging still here, before you know what is happening, the road will still become bad. So there should be proper clearance of the waterways. So when there is downpour, then water can go into the waterways and flow away, so everybody can pass, rather than water stocking on the road and it becomes big problems again, and the road becoming wearing out, which is not really good.
For the sport worker, the government has done well, but more needs to be done to ensure that things are as they feel it should be to protect businesses and improve on the nation's economy.
We give thanks to God, and He will continue to support the government. The way the road is being tarred is for our own advantage, and we will also enjoy it. The problem we have is that most of the containers are disturbing us, the Yala. If the number of containers to be taken to the port is 10 or 5, let it be taken and delivered. All we need in Leventis to Area B and Marine Bridge is peace. The Yalas should be allowed to do their work without any disturbance, especially from the Army or Navy. We work according to the company's policy. The government is doing a good job and we are happy about it. All we need now is that the government should help us repair the Ijora Bridge.
The federal government says it will continue to put in place measures and projects to enhance the connectivity of cities, towns and states, as well as expand the frontiers of commerce and businesses between peoples all over the country. Minister of State, Power Works and Housing, Suleiman Hassan, disclosed this while announcing the approval of a 28.75-kilometer road linking both Sokoto and Zamfara State at the cost of 5.2 billion naira after the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja.
We, this afternoon, approved the award of the contract for the construction of Kajiji, Jabo, Gurai, Takwacho Road in Sokoto State. This is a 28.75 kilometer road joining Sokoto and Zamfara states. It is in a very good agricultural zone. We'll be able to ferry goods, agricultural goods, human traffic between these two states and onto the neighboring countries of Niger and Benin Republic.
That is it at this week's episode of the program. Join us again for another interesting package next week. Until then, stay true to our nation, Nigeria, and continue to take ownership of public utilities. And lastly, pay your tax. I am Abosede Omowi. Bye for now.
partly due to the fact that the P30 was just not taking
If we don't do what we need to do now, the road will collapse.